Cover crops. So how do you terminate them and how do you get your garden ready after having a cover crop? Well, that's a good question. And I realized before I talk about terminating a cover crop, first I need to talk about why we even put cover crops down to begin with. Hey, by the way, I'm Jeff here in Central Texas. This is Whirlwind Family Farm. And if you look behind me, we still have some of the remnants of Winter Storm fern. Still got some ice and snow. In fact, I had a tough time opening up the high tunnels this morning because they were literally frozen to the ground and I wanted to let a little air in there. We have a few things still growing in the high tunnels, believe it or not. We got some bok choy. Check it out here later. We're going to have another video where I'm going to talk about some of those wintering plants, especially in areas, maybe we're in zone 8, say you're in zone 7, 8, 9. A lot of things you can have growing through the winter, which is incredible. Okay, cover crops. What's the whole point? Why would you go to the time, expensive seeds to do cover crops? And I'll tell you, it's simply this, is we're stopping erosion. That's one thing, is we're limiting the possibility of erosion, especially if we get to late fall, mid-fall, we get a big rain. We don't want things to wash off. I'm going to show you some oats that are standing about 3.5 feet tall right here behind me. And you can see, even with temperatures that have been down as low as 14 degrees here in Central Texas, which is really cold for us, still have some green going, which is incredible. But those are cover crops right there. And the purpose of a cover crop is pretty simple. As I said, first of all, erosion. And the next thing is it's acting very similar to a compost, is we're getting that organic material down into the soil. And the reason I say that is cover crops can be crimped. And if you see right here on the screen, I'm showing you an example of cover crop. You could take a 2x6, 2x4, any kind of wood that's about the width of one of your rows. Doesn't have to be that wide. Drill a couple of holes on the end, put some sort of nylon rope or a rope, pull it up where you can grab it with your foot, and just take that board, move along, and crimp down. So that's crimping a cover crop. And once it breaks, and once it's bent over and broke and terminated, some people will literally leave that cover crop on the surface and then come along, if they're transplanting okra, or if they're transplanting radishes or any type of their vegetables, they literally will transplant into that now crimped and now terminated cover crop. So it's literally on the top of that row, just like you would have compost. So that's the great purpose. Now, here's the question: how do I terminate the cover crop? Well, I'll tell you this. A very simple and very easy thing that has happened for most of us in all of the lower 48 states here in the United States is we've had some very, very cold weather, and nature has terminated a lot of those cover crops for us. So if you've never done this before and you're like, how do I deal with it once I start getting to spring? Usually Mother Nature will take care of it. And I'll give you a perfect example. I'm going to walk over here. First of all, you're going to see this. I always say this is the messy time of year when the garden looks the worst. But I got to tell you, it's kind of when it's at its best, because if we have those cover crops and we're letting these rows be covered, they're not being disturbed, microorganisms are down in the soil, everything is, for lack of a better word, is just percolating along like it should. I'm going to show you some sweet alyssum that you can see Mother Nature pretty much this past week, with temperature down in the teens, has terminated that cover crop. So all I have to do when I get towards, let's say, 3 to 4 weeks from now, and I'm going to start planting in this row, transplanting out of my seed trays into this, all I have to do is either crimp it, come in with a board and crimp that down, or come in with a weed whacker, weed eater, and come along and just cut it off level with the ground. And sometimes people will even leave that residue. After they've cut it, they'll leave it right there so that organic material will break down, and they are not disturbing the soil at all. Now, I'll tell you some mistakes I've made in the past, is I've come in with crops like this and gone through and pulled all of it by hand. And what I'm doing when you do that is removing a root system. And a root system is serving two purposes in those cover crops. One is we've got root channels, which is allowing that soil to be more permeable and soft. The next thing is those root systems are breaking down and providing more nutrients for those microorganisms. And I've talked about this several times, but those little bacteria, just like we talk about bacteria, good bacteria in our gut, that bacteria down in that soil breaks down all the nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, breaks it down so it is now consumable by that plant. You can have that uptake through the roots. So we want to disturb that soil and those microorganisms as little as possible. So all that being said, back to the point of the cover crop. It is helping all of those things. It is stopping erosion. It's providing organic material. It's providing a loosening and a permeability of that soil with that root system. So that's the beauty of it. Right here next to us are turnips. And I will have to tell you, turnips, this is a crop that was kind of terminated early due to frost. And turnips can amazingly hang in through a lot of frost. These will probably have to be pulled because those are large turnips that are in there. I think if we look down here close, we can see some of them. Let's see if I can find some here. Yeah, if you look closely, you can see there's some old turnips in there. So these will have to be pulled. Some of those actually, truthfully, probably are still edible, but we'll be pulling these soon. I hate to disturb the soil that much, but probably will have to be done. But everything else out here, if you look, there's some snow peas, which I purposely left. You can see that very brown area. Those are snow peas in there. Again, as I talked about, there's oats over there. Back on the north side of Whirlwind Family Farm, I have sweet alyssum. Also, I have some mustard plants. I think I've got some mustard plants over here. Let me take a walk and see on the other side. Yeah, there were a few here that I planted. You can see these are mustard plants, mustard seeds, tiny little seeds. This was all planted in mustard earlier in the fall. And you can see now nature has pretty much taken its course with 14 degree down in the teens, has terminated that. So that's going to be easy to come in and crimp, come in with a weed eater, cut all that down, leave those roots in there, and it's working just like you would with compost. So that's just the beauty of a cover crop. It works so well. And the last thing I'll leave you with when I talk about this, it took me several years out here in this market garden to kind of go with the flow of letting things decay, letting things break down with these cover crops. If you're like me and you're one of those, you kind of have an A personality and you like to see everything clean and neat and raked up and just have a nice look about it, well, that's fine, except then you're robbing the soil of those nutrients that are going to break down and go into your soil. I'm going to walk up here to the north end and show you exactly what I'm talking about. There's that sweet alyssum that has now been terminated by the frost. Over here, that's mustard. Over here, actually, you can see a few of them on there. They're kind of spread out, but all of that was pumpkin plants. And I have let them literally decay and break down into that soil because they're putting back into it, and it's just providing. And oh, there's another one right here. Those are green beans. Left them, you can actually still see, if you look closely, a few green beans that were left towards the end of the season. Just left them right there in that row because the whole point of the cover crop, keep it protected, provide that organic material, and let nature take its course, terminate that plant for you. Then you can crimp down, plant into, take a weed eater, cut it off at the surface, and it really is providing nutrients. And I'll tell you the other upside of that is, with a garden this size, a lot of times we have to buy and bring in outside compost, which can be pricey. And the less I have to do that, the better chance of profitability out here with this market garden. So anytime I can utilize cover crops to that advantage, that's what I'm going to do. So think about that. If you didn't do it this year, or you're thinking about gardening for the very first time, once you get to late fall and you have rows that you've finished up, even in these very small gardens, come in and put down some sweet alyssum or oats or snow peas, things like that that can be terminated easily with frost. And then when you get back to spring, you already really kind of have a thatch or a type of compost that's already on that soil. So hope that helps. We know you're going to do great this year, and we certainly appreciate you finding our channel. We'll have another video over here you can check out that'll take you further along. Blessings over you, your family, your garden. Talk to you soon from Whirlwind Family Farm.